Well, hello everyone, this is E.G. Sebastian. Welcome all to my Client Attraction Academy's weekly support call. Today I have a very special guest, a very impressive young lady, and she is a LinkedIn trainer or specialist. I don't know, she'll tell you. But I'm teaching this stuff. I'm teaching LinkedIn, and I've been teaching it for, I don't know, 6, 7 years. And so I'm not easily impressed. But each time I talk to this lady or I read her articles or her LinkedIn posts, I always learned something. I generated more leads. I generated more paying clients. So I'm so excited to bring her to this call and have her share some of her strategies and ideas with you. So Mirna, welcome. Please introduce yourself a little bit. And her name is, because I know I left you hanging, I said I have a mystery guest, or I don't know what I said in my email. I just got back from a long travel. But her name is Mirna Bacun, or Bacun. I keep calling her Bacun.
Yeah.
She's Mirna Bacun. And so go ahead, Mirna, it's yours.
Thank you, Sebastian, for having me. Hi, guys. It's really cool to be here. I'm basically I love to chit chat about talk about LinkedIn. So when Sebastian actually kind of got in touch with me and said like, "Well, do you want to present a little bit about LinkedIn and LinkedIn funnels, which you're working on in the last couple of years?" I was very happy to do it. So today I want to talk about basically LinkedIn lead generation, which most of you are probably really interested, but I also want to talk about the LinkedIn funnels that I call them basically LinkedIn lead generation funnels, and I'm going to explain 3 LinkedIn lead generation funnels, and basically I'm going to, as much time as I have, I'm going to try and walk you through those funnels and kind of explain the whole lead generation game to you as far as LinkedIn goes. I think it's really cool that if you have any questions in the meantime while I'm presenting, feel free to just put it here, and I hope that Sebastian will you can just interrupt me and I can answer the questions, but I also leave time at the end for the Q&A, because the whole point is that you ask me as much questions as you can. The more questions you ask me, the more interactive we are, the better for you guys. So I guess that you can see my screen. Why LinkedIn? Well, basically, if I don't know how much Sebastian has worked with you when it comes to LinkedIn, I know that he has this huge group, which is actually one of the funnels that I'm going to talk about today as well. I'm going to really go over really quickly why LinkedIn. Today we have like so many social media. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, Pinterest, like we have all these different things, but not a lot of people talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn seems to be this kind of social media network that people are just like not excited about. It's like, what am I supposed to do with LinkedIn? Like I don't get it. And I think that the reason for this is because, first of all, LinkedIn is a business social network, so it's completely different than other social media networks that and I think that because people don't use it as much, they're just leaving a lot of money on the table. Okay, because LinkedIn is actually a 430 million member business social network, and you see that I underlined here the business social network. So it's really important that you understand that LinkedIn is like no other social media out there, because it's focused on business. People don't go on LinkedIn to chit-chat. They don't go there to like you. They don't go there to write comments or to hang out. They don't have LinkedIn open the whole day like you maybe have Facebook. But when you come on LinkedIn, there is not a platform, any kind of social media platform, where you can find a really big hotshot CEO and try to get them as a lead to work with you. People have been able to close hundreds of thousands of dollars over LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a business social network where people go to do business, people go to talk about business, and it's completely normal. One really maybe important thing for you to know is that LinkedIn actually signs up a new member every 2 seconds. So it's just growing really fast. And unlike what most people think, that it's this like resume site, LinkedIn is actually pure gold when it comes to B2B. So when I work with my clients, if they're focused on B2B, business to business, LinkedIn is absolutely the best lead generation, lead source that you can find on this planet, where basically there are a bit of different rules of engagement than there are on Facebook, and we're going to talk about them today. So anybody that works in B2B, LinkedIn might be a really awesome platform for you to find leads. One of the reasons is that LinkedIn has a very, very targeted search machine, very advanced search machine, where you can find those really, really targeted, very targeted leads. And as I said, it plays on a bit of different rules than it does for Facebook. But if you are in a B2B space and if you're not using LinkedIn, you're just losing a lot of money. You're leaving money on the table. And you might be asking, yourselves like, oh, LinkedIn, aren't you supposed to have this like your CV or resume and that's it? Or you might be thinking, oh, I have like a profile there, but nothing's happening. The reason why nothing's happening is because you're not using LinkedIn the right way. If you don't know how to use it, how can you expect to have results? If you don't know, for example, I don't know anything about Facebook ads because I'm focused on LinkedIn. If I don't know anything about Facebook ads, I don't see Facebook ads as something that can benefit my business. So the only reason why you're not generating like really high quality targeted leads over LinkedIn is because you don't know how to use it to get those high quality leads, and we're going to change that today. So when you think about LinkedIn, this huge business social media network, when I look at LinkedIn, I see opportunities. I see opportunities when it comes to really targeted leads, to finding really, really like my ideal clients, which enables me, unlike, for example, when people use Facebook, this enables me to find people that are most likely to have the problem that I'm searching for, that are in the right demographics, that are in the right title, and in the right mindset to work with me. Unlike when you pay for ads, you pay for cold traffic, okay? And then you, for example, you put money in Facebook ads, you get a bunch of cold traffic. That cold traffic is really hard to convert. Where unlike LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, you focus on building trust. You can connect with any person that you want. You focus on building trust, positioning yourself as an expert, and basically the chances are that you'll maybe land a huge deal. They're much higher on LinkedIn than anywhere else, okay? And when I talk about lead generation over LinkedIn, which means getting very, very high quality leads, there are at least three funnels that I usually tell my clients to use to get that consistent number of free, high quality and warm leads to their websites without paying for traffic. Okay, the way that I use LinkedIn is I just find, and I basically, I'm gonna just give you a little bit about me and how I actually started to use LinkedIn and why am I so like for LinkedIn. I taught myself how to use LinkedIn, and in the last 3 years I had a business, a SaaS business, software as a service for nutritionists and dietitians, that I started here in Croatia, Europe. We had investors in the company, but basically all the money went into development. Anyone that's ever done any work with software basically knows that software just eats up money like crazy. It's ridiculous. And we did have investors. It was very serious, but we didn't have a marketing budget. And I was the CEO, and I needed to find really sales and clients. Like when you work with investors, with venture capitalists, the numbers are only thing that matters. It doesn't matter if your product is pretty. It doesn't matter what you think about your product. The only thing at the end of the day is what's on paper, how much money and how many clients. So since we didn't have a marketing budget, I actually needed to find a way to get clients without having a marketing budget, without being able to pay for ads. And I was in a niche that was healthcare. We were selling software as a service, online software to nutritionists and dietitians. So my problem was, for example, that I didn't have any business knowledge at that point. I didn't have marketing knowledge. I didn't have marketing budget. I was really I was pressured into just finding a solution. And the worst was of the whole thing was that dietitians and nutritionists are doctors, right? And if you're not a doctor yourself, it's really hard to position yourself and get those people to buy anything from you. So I actually use LinkedIn, and I've been using LinkedIn for the last 3 years. I used LinkedIn not only to position myself as an expert among my target market, but I've been able to make almost $50,000 last year without putting a single dollar into ads just by using LinkedIn. I made a group that's now over 7,000 members and just growing completely virally. I don't have to do anything to grow it at this point. I made over 10,000 targeted leads on LinkedIn. Everything was within the last year after I found the strategies and lead generation strategies that work over LinkedIn. So this success that I had wasn't typical. I actually did, I had to do I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of errors. It was really like just trial and error. But in the last year, I actually discovered different strategies over LinkedIn, and I realized that you can make different lead generation funnels within LinkedIn that actually work. When I say lead generation funnels within LinkedIn, that actually means that I can develop a plan to get already, those different leads that are on LinkedIn through different stages of LinkedIn itself to get them from LinkedIn into my websites and my or my subscriber list or my landing pages or whatever. So I kind of discovered that as you have your marketing funnels, you have your sales funnels maybe where you have, you pay for traffic and then you get people on your landing pages and then those people leave you their email address and then you send them, drip campaigns and then they convert to paying clients. You can do a very similar thing over LinkedIn, but just focused on gathering really high quality leads that you warm up basically on LinkedIn. And then when they come on your website, when they give you their email address, the whole selling cycle, it's much shorter because that's, on LinkedIn, when you use different lead generation funnels, that traffic isn't cold. You're already positioning yourself as an expert. So I started my first business, as I said, without any business or marketing knowledge. At that point, I had $800 in my account, which I actually gave for the first month of an online course. And as I said, I raised venture capital. I succeeded. I failed. I learned. And now I'm focusing on LinkedIn and just helping other people use LinkedIn to generate funnels and lead generation funnels that actually work. So I don't know if we have questions so far. If we have, Sebastian, you can just...
We have some questions, but you might answer them as we go, so I will leave them for later. So just go on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So first, what are LinkedIn funnels? And as I said, LinkedIn is really an amazing platform that's really focused on business that people that want to do business. The rules are completely different over LinkedIn. But you might be asking yourselves, what are LinkedIn funnels? And I basically said a bit about what LinkedIn lead generation funnels are. But as Sebastian actually wrote in the email, I think that was a really good kind of explanation. A funnel is a strategic sequence of actions one takes to attract leads and clients and push them to do some kind of action. So on LinkedIn, when I talk about funnels, I talk about lead generation funnels, and basically I would kind of define a LinkedIn funnel as a strategic sequence of different actions to get people that are already on LinkedIn, that are your ideal clients, and to push them to do some kind of action that you want. As I said, for example, get them out of LinkedIn and into your email list, get them out of LinkedIn by them getting an appointment set up with you or something like that. So what I'm imagining LinkedIn as this huge fish pond of my potential clients. I'm looking at LinkedIn as a place where my ideal clients congregate. They're already ready to do business. It's normal to talk about business on LinkedIn. And if you had a person, for example, on Facebook that sends you a friend request and you don't know this person, it's kind of creepy, right? But when you do that on LinkedIn, it's not a problem because people go there to do business. So again, I would kind of define LinkedIn funnel or LinkedIn lead generation funnel as a set of sequences to get those ideal clients that are already on LinkedIn and kind of push them through different kind of stages of LinkedIn into, for example, my subscriber list. What I'm focusing, as I said, is getting really high quality leads over LinkedIn and then pushing them to my websites, landing pages, or email lists. And there are a couple of different ways that you can do that. That's why I'm going to talk about the three LinkedIn funnels that I mostly use. There are also like different hybrids of funnels, but these three work really well, and that's what I want to talk about today. So there are three types of LinkedIn funnels or LinkedIn lead generation funnels that work. One is called the LinkedIn profile funnel, and I know that a lot of people, they talk about LinkedIn lead generation maybe, or LinkedIn prospecting or something like that. I talk about LinkedIn funnels because they are basically funnels, and that's why I'm calling them like exactly what they are. So we have a LinkedIn profile funnel, LinkedIn group funnel, and LinkedIn message funnel. These are the three funnels that you can use. Either of those three, you can use them combined. All of these things always depend on, first and foremost, your target market. You know, you need to understand who is your LinkedIn target market, and you need to understand how they react to different ways of you interacting with them, right? For example, when I had nutritionists and dietitians, they are doctors, they're people that pitch them all the time, and they are really not, they don't react well to hardcore sales pitches or any kind of pitches at all. With that kind of target market, you need to build trust first, and after that, you can kind of nurture them. It's very important for them that, you know, you position yourself as an expert, that they trust you and like you, and then you can maybe do a sales pitch. Some target markets are really, it's not a problem to do a sales pitch or hardcore sales pitch before. You know, you don't maybe need to build as much trust. But LinkedIn as a platform, and don't forget about this, LinkedIn as a platform is much slower, okay? What I'm talking about here, when I'm talking about LinkedIn lead generation funnels, is completely free, organic, and high quality traffic. I'm not talking about LinkedIn ads. I'm talking about how to get free, high quality leads and turn them into clients. For example, like I did last year, and I made $50,000, so $0 into ads. I was focusing on building trust and nurturing my potential clients over LinkedIn using these different funnels, and I got $50,000 out, okay? So that's a pretty good return on investment. For example, if you're looking for really quick, I want to get results tomorrow, and I want to get gazillions of clients for LinkedIn, none of these funnels will work for you, because LinkedIn is about building trust. It's about nurturing your potential clients, and, you know, to establish relationships, it takes a bit of time. Nobody's going to give you, like, you know, $50,000 and sign a contract, like consulting contract with you for thousands of dollars, you know, if you don't touch base, if you don't build trust. So LinkedIn as a platform and as lead generation is slower than any kind of ads, but, you know, all of these funnels are long-term. These are long-term strategies. Once you find and define which of these funnels work for you best and work for your target market best, then you can basically just leverage and get the return on investment on and on and on. For example, I built myself the LinkedIn group funnel with my LinkedIn group, and I'm still having return on investment because this funnel is now, it took me some time to build it. It took me some time to test it out. I put in some time and effort in it, and now I'm just leveraging on it without basically doing anything. So keep this in mind. LinkedIn is much slower. It takes a bit of time to develop these funnels, to find the right ones that work for your target market. But once that happens, you can just start, you know, getting to that dream, like just booking clients on autopilot. So I want to talk about the LinkedIn profile funnel really quickly. So the LinkedIn profile funnel is actually one of the funnels that focuses on your profile. One really, you know, the most important thing for you to know is that if you don't have a LinkedIn profile that's optimized for your target market, you can't do anything on LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn profile is the base of anything that you do on LinkedIn, because at this point, before, you know, maybe a year ago, it was you could actually do some things on LinkedIn without having to connect to people. Now, the only thing that you can do anything on LinkedIn for real is to connect with people. And as soon as you start to connect with people, they're going to start to check your profile out. The only, you know, checking out your LinkedIn profile is the step number one for any of your potential clients. So optimizing your LinkedIn profile is the most important thing. And you know, a lot of marketing gurus, LinkedIn marketing gurus, they talk about how you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. I disagree with some of the things when they say, for example, they need to optimize your LinkedIn profile by keywords and things like that. I optimize my profile to my target market. You know, if you go out of this like workshop understanding that you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile only to your target market, to talk to your target market instead of focusing on keywords, you're going to have much better results than you have so far. When I talk about optimization of LinkedIn profile, I'm thinking about imagining your LinkedIn profile as being your website. If you know anything about copywriting, then you know that basically your LinkedIn profile should talk to your target market. It should reflect them instead of talk about you. A lot of the times when I start to work with clients, they get really confused about like, oh, how am I supposed to optimize my LinkedIn profile to my target market? And the reason for this is that exactly what I was talking about in the beginning. People think that LinkedIn is this resume site, and they don't use LinkedIn for lead generation. They don't use LinkedIn to connect with their target market, okay? If you're a business owner, then you want to use LinkedIn for lead generation and connecting with your target market. And in order to connect with your target market and get results and to get, for example, your LinkedIn profile funnel to work, you need to enable those targeted leads when they land on your LinkedIn profile to kind of, you know, see and have the answer to the question, what's in it for me, okay? So the LinkedIn profile funnel actually focuses on grabbing target market from different parts of LinkedIn, directing them to your LinkedIn profile, and then pushing them to do some kind of action, okay? So LinkedIn profile funnel, as you probably know, the optimizing of your LinkedIn profile is the most important thing. So as I said, your LinkedIn profile needs to be optimized. I actually did a blueprint to just give you an idea of what a LinkedIn profile funnel should look like. Also, one of the things that is very important for you guys to know, there are three things. One, who is your target market over LinkedIn? Whichever, you know, LinkedIn funnel you use, you need to know at least two things. And without these two things, it's going to be really hard for you to do anything over LinkedIn. One is, who is your target market? But I'm not thinking about like who is your target market, and I'm not talking about their interests and demographics. I'm talking about who is your LinkedIn target market, in a sense of what is their title, where do they work, are they a CEO, are they a manager, you know, how big is the company? So in terms of LinkedIn, what is your LinkedIn target market? That's the first thing. And the second thing is the end goal. What is the end goal that you want to do with your lead generation funnel, right? When you have funnels outside, when you have sales and marketing funnels, you know what your end goal is, either for somebody to download something from you or buy something from you, and you know exactly how you want that, you know, how you want to drive people to do that action. So if you're paying for Facebook ads, you're probably driving them to a landing page, and you know that on this landing page is completely optimized for that target market, and you want them to download something and leave you their email address. It's the same thing on LinkedIn, okay? It's the same thing with LinkedIn funnels. For example, and I'm going to actually show you how that looks like. So this is a LinkedIn profile funnel, and I only have a blueprint for the LinkedIn profile funnel, but it's going to help you understand other funnels that I'm going to talk about today as well. So this is a blueprint of a LinkedIn profile funnel, okay? So here you can see that we have this vast 430 million different members of LinkedIn that are basically ready to do some kind of business, okay? They can be either LinkedIn members, they can be put in LinkedIn groups, and basically there are actually some people that you can grab in other social media, depending if you're using blog posts or whatever. But this is like, imagine this vast pool, and depending from which part of LinkedIn do these people come, they can be either LinkedIn members, they can be members of LinkedIn groups, they can be LinkedIn, people that follow you over LinkedIn, so LinkedIn followers means that they're not connected to you, they're only following you, your blogs, for example, your LinkedIn connections. all of these people on LinkedIn, depending on what you're doing and depending on kind of what action you are doing to drive them to your LinkedIn, optimized LinkedIn profile, you can use a couple of things. Like imagine 430 million members over LinkedIn. Maybe you're doing some blog posting, right? As soon as somebody sees your blog post, they're going to check you out. They're going to see your optimized LinkedIn profile. They're going to, of course, check you out. Maybe you are connecting with your target market to get to those members of LinkedIn. They're going to check out your profile. If you're doing some kind of updates, sharing, or keeping in touch with people, what they're going to do is they're going to look at your LinkedIn profile. And this is exactly what you want, right? Profile viewing, maybe using some automated software, for example. You have automated software that enables you to set your target market and you know, to check out these people. These people are going to check you out, and of course, then there's LinkedIn advertising. So these are 430 million people over LinkedIn. These are different things that they're different LinkedIn features that you're using in order to get all of these people to your optimized LinkedIn profile. And then depending on the goal that you want and how you optimize your LinkedIn profile, those people can either maybe go directly on your landing or sales page. Maybe your end goal is for them to send you an email, or maybe your goal is to send them for them to send you a LinkedIn message. All this end goal of them getting in touch with you, for example, is depending on how you optimize your LinkedIn profile. That's why it's called a LinkedIn profile funnel. So as you see, a LinkedIn profile funnel basically grabs all the LinkedIn members coming from different places and using different features over LinkedIn to get people to your optimized LinkedIn profile and to get them to do a certain action that you want, to get them to send you an email, to get in touch, or to get on your landing or sales page. Sebastian, does this make sense so far, what I'm saying, to just kind of get an idea about like how LinkedIn profile funnel works?
This is really, really great, and I love how you stress the two main things you have to know with your LinkedIn strategies. Know who is your target market. Crazy, crazy important. If you don't know who that is, then you're wasting your time there. And then what is your end goal? I like it. I'm taking here notes like crazy, so.
Okay, cool. I wanted to kind of pin down the LinkedIn profile funnel because and give you kind of the blueprint of how it actually looks like, so that I can talk about the other funnels and that it's easy for you to understand how it should look like. As I said, I don't have the blueprints, but I think it's really easy to understand how this LinkedIn profile funnel works. For example, as I said, here you have you know, your LinkedIn profile has to be optimized. You need to have the end goal, and you need to know who is your target market and which of these features you're going to use in order to get those people. And this LinkedIn profile funnel, it's completely, absolutely free. You don't have to pay for traffic. You just have to input a bit of time and effort to figure out which, you know, are you targeting LinkedIn members, are you targeting LinkedIn groups, are you targeting your LinkedIn followers, and which of these features work best for your target market. Maybe people respond best when you just look at their profile. Maybe people respond best when you contact them and connect with them. Maybe people read, you know, in your target market really are up to reading blog posts. So you identify all of these little blocks, get them to your LinkedIn profile, and then you also just kind of test out really quickly to see, is it, you know, more easier for them to send them a link, for them to send you a LinkedIn message? Do they are they inclined to just download something from your LinkedIn profile, for example? So this is like something that you need to give it just a bit of time to test it out. But any funnel, like if you have any kind of marketing or sales funnel, you will need time to test it out. I mean, I'm sometimes very stoked about how people are like, oh, so that means if it's free, it means that I need to spend gazillions of hours testing it out. And I'm like, yeah, but you spend, like, for any sales or marketing funnel, you always need time to test it out, but you're spending money. So you're spending money on cold traffic, you're spending time to test it out, it costs, and you still have to test it out. This is something that you test out, and once you find the right formula, the right blocks for this funnel, it just traffic just comes and comes. And why? Because LinkedIn as a platform grows by itself, you know, and it's LinkedIn that needs to grow its base. You don't have to do anything about it. It's like CEOs of LinkedIn, their only job is to grow the network. And as the network grows, and as LinkedIn grows as a network, good news for you, that means that you have more and more of your target market that you can, if you have your LinkedIn profile funnel, for example, set up, that means that the traffic will just come and convert. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I also want to go quickly to the most, like, I love this, like LinkedIn group funnel is my my favorite, because that's actually the funnel that I used to make the 50K last year. And probably Sebastian knows this as well, because he has a group of his own. LinkedIn group funnel, for example, focuses on grabbing target market from different parts of LinkedIn, but directing them to your LinkedIn group, or you need to connect it with them. So you first need to get them on your LinkedIn profile, and then asking them to join your LinkedIn group. To be, you know, very like short, let's say that on LinkedIn group funnel, you focus on getting people into your LinkedIn group and out of the LinkedIn group as soon as possible. This is something that works so amazingly well on LinkedIn. I just love it, because LinkedIn groups are a great resource to build trust, position yourself as an expert. That's one thing. Secondly, LinkedIn groups, unlike Facebook groups, have amazing features when it comes to extracting your targeted leads out of the LinkedIn group. So one of the things that you need to be very aware of is that if you want to build a Facebook group on LinkedIn, don't try, because it's not going to work, okay? LinkedIn groups are by definition not as engaged as Facebook groups. They're engaged in a completely different way than on Facebook. And as I said in the beginning of this presentation, you know, people don't go on LinkedIn. They don't hang out there all the time. LinkedIn is not open on their mobile phones 24/7, right? They go there for a specific reason, okay? They go on LinkedIn for a specific reason. They do something on LinkedIn, and then they go out. And you have this time to grab them, right? You can do that, for example, if you have a LinkedIn group, you can do that by giving them something for free to download, have a really good discussion, or you start a really good discussion where you position yourself as an expert, again, depending on the end goal that you want from this funnel. Also, a lot of people say, well, you know, people are not engaged on LinkedIn groups. They don't like my stuff. They're not there to like your stuff. They're not going to like your stuff as they do on Facebook. It's a completely different platform. But, for example, I use my LinkedIn group to get people in LinkedIn group and out of the LinkedIn group as soon as possible and into my email list, for example. I know what my end goal is with my LinkedIn group funnel, and it works amazingly, amazingly well. I think that this funnel is actually, it's great if you want to build a community of your very, very targeted leads. If you want to, for example, build your email list, I think that the LinkedIn group funnel is the most, it's the best thing. And probably Sebastian can clarify this as well and kind of confirm. And secondly, the group funnel is also awesome for building trust and likability, because remember, people are going to buy things from you if they like you and trust you, if they think that you know what you're talking about. Also, when you have a LinkedIn group, basically you have a lot of leverage, because you can go to any of your connections and say, you know, I'm this group owner, I have this huge group, I'd love to chat with you, for example. And just having a LinkedIn group positions you by default as an expert in something. But also one thing that you have to be very aware of is that building a very lead generation oriented LinkedIn group that works, and in that sense having a LinkedIn group funnel that works, is not about pushing create new group button. It has a lot of stuff behind it. You need to know how to position the group. You need to do a bit of a research about like your target market, but the positioning of the group and what you want to do with the group end result is the most important thing for this LinkedIn group funnel to work. But as I said, it's one of my favorite funnels. I love it. For example, on one of my groups, it's giving me constant leads on constant basis. Like, I don't do anything to grow my group anymore. My targeted leads just come in and they go out and they grab like my freebies, and I have them on my email list. So LinkedIn group funnel, absolutely awesome. I definitely suggest that you do it, but as I said, it's not as easy as pushing the button, so be aware of that as well. Then we have the LinkedIn message funnel. The LinkedIn message funnel is basically we're using different parts of LinkedIn to find and connect with our target market again, and then using LinkedIn messages to get them to do a desired action. I have to have an M here, to get them to do a desired action. Okay, it's very similar to drip campaigns, but it's not like email drip campaigns. LinkedIn messaging can work really well because when you send a LinkedIn message to somebody, you might not know this or you do, it gets straight into their email inbox, which is great. But you also need to know what you're sending out. And I see a lot of people making such huge mistakes with LinkedIn messaging, and it's just like they send you a LinkedIn message that's like, 5 pages long, and then they ask you to check their stuff out and they give you a link to their website. Like, no, nobody's going to do that at all. Your job is to use LinkedIn messages and funnel people to get them to do a desired action, but you need to provide a lot of value. Everything on LinkedIn, if you want those really high quality leads, it needs to be about value. You need to provide value, and if you don't understand that, then maybe paying for cold traffic is a better option for you. But you will still need to do that warming up and all that stuff anyways, because nobody's going to buy from you anything if they don't like you and trust you. So you're going to have to do that warming up and all these things anyways, but you're going to pay for traffic. That's the difference. The LinkedIn message funnel can be 2 messages, it can be 5 message campaign, it really depends. It can be 4 message campaign. It all, again, depends on you, it depends on your target market, it depends on the end goal that you want. Do you want them to book an appointment with you? Do you want them to download something? Do you want them to get in touch in some other way? Do you want to grab a coffee with them if you're in the same city, depending on if you're targeting the market from the same city, for example? What I definitely suggest is I have to say that this funnel is really effective, but it takes the most kind of time to perfect, because as a good email drip campaign, for example, you need some time to figure out what works really best. The difference here is that you can't figure out like who's opening up your messages, who's not opening up your messages. You can just figure out who's reacting to different things. Which means that people have been able to basically make hundreds of thousands of dollars with LinkedIn messages, and it's awesome for really big hotshots that require a lot of nurturing and building trust. Okay, but you need to find the perfect formula. What I definitely suggest for the beginning is never to sell them anything in the first 1 or 2 messages. Don't ask them to check out your website. Don't write about yourself for like 5 pages. Like when somebody opens up a LinkedIn message and sees that huge chunk of text, it's like they're just like dropping it. They're never going to talk to you again. Instead of that, be very like, you can send them a LinkedIn message funnel can be like 1 message saying, hey, thanks for connecting with me. I'd like to give you something, I made this like case study and it helped XYZ to make XYZ. You don't have to leave your email address at all. I'm attaching it here. You can download it. You can read it and just like enjoy it. And then in a week or 10 days, you can send out another message, saying, hey, this person, I've seen this, I have this group, or for example, I saw this great discussion and I thought that it might be interesting for you, blah, blah, blah. Here, they're providing value. A lot of the times when you send out a LinkedIn message, and if you provide a lot of value for people not to have to download something, not have to go on your website and check you out because they're not going to do it, just make it easy for them to read your stuff and to say thanks, thank you for sending me this, or this is a great case study or whatever. Get them to interact with you, and if they send you a message back, you got them. You can start the conversation. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So be sure that you always provide value in your messages, because otherwise, like for example, when I started this business with being a LinkedIn funnel consultant, I couldn't use at that point my LinkedIn for because I was positioned for my other other company, so I had to actually use some other social media, but it's the same thing. I just went out and I gave my case study where I explained how I made $50,000 in 1 year without putting $1 in ads. I gave it free to everyone without asking them for an email address. What happened is that people, I gave them my best stuff for free without wanting anything in return. And the result of this was, for example, I didn't get them on my email list, but they gave me a feedback saying, this is absolutely awesome, like you're great, and I have questions, I want to start working with you, like what's up with that, like you're crazy. So be sure that LinkedIn message funnel is not about, nobody cares about you, right? Nobody cares about your business, nobody cares about your product, people only care about themselves. Make it easy for them to perceive you as authority, as somebody that knows what he's doing, and be generous. Like I love, for example, Ramit Sethi. He goes out and he gives like 98% of his best stuff completely free, but that's 2%, that are the tricks and tips and the nuts and bolts. People pay thousands of dollars for that. It's just awesome. So don't forget to not ask people for the first 2 LinkedIn messages to check out your stuff, or just like be very quick, 2-3 sentences, make it easy for them to read your stuff, to click on things. Don't ask them for their email address or anything like, don't ask them to check out your website. They're not going to do it. Make it really easy for them to say yes to you, whatever it is. Okay, and then depending on, is it 2 messages, 5 messages, at the end you can make some kind of call to action and say like, well, do you want to meet up in the city? Or if they send you a message back, you can start a conversation with them and learn more about the business or their needs or something like that. So that would be the LinkedIn message funnel. And now I'm basically up and open for the Q&A. I actually have 10 more minutes before I have to grab a bus, but I'm really hope that you understood and you saw the value in kind of the opportunities that you have with LinkedIn funnels and with LinkedIn.
Great stuff, and I love your tips on the messaging funnel. And by the way, I got a couple of multi-thousand-dollar speaking engagement through the messaging funnel, contacting HR managers. So it's really powerful, and of course these are real people there who need solutions. Yeah. So it's one of the most powerful funnels. And so I have lots of questions, and already I can see that I cannot ask them all. One of the questions was, which one do you think is the most powerful funnel?
Whatever your target market reacts to best. I know that this is like, it's not me avoiding the question at all, but everything depends on your target market. I mean, target market of nutritionists and dietitians is a completely different market than, for example, biz owners. It's your job as a business owner to understand what your target market reacts to best. For example, I always focus on, if I can, focus on having a group funnel. But sometimes, people don't congregate on LinkedIn for groups. Maybe if my target market are really big hotshot CEOs that don't have time for joining a group, I'm going to go with the messaging funnel. It really depends. One of the things that I definitely suggest for anything that you do is that you optimize your LinkedIn profile. It really is the most important thing.
And when you say optimize, it means keep in mind those 2 elements. Who's your target market and what exactly is your
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I said when I was doing the presentation, the most important thing is that you optimize your LinkedIn profile to your target market. When they come on your LinkedIn profile, they need to see what's in it for them. It's not about you, it's about them. They need to have an understanding of what you can do for them. I see a lot of people using like the summary and say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Nobody cares about you. People come on your profile and they want to see what's in it, what you're going to, what am I going to get?
That's right.
They don't care about like what school you went to or how cool your skills are. They don't care about
your
that.
Certificates and all of that, yeah. I always tell people, and it sounds harsh, that nobody cares about you. And you mentioned it a couple of times that people just care about themselves. And when they come to your profile LinkedIn, they have to see right away that you have the right fit. And I'm always suggesting to put bullet points. Like say, I'm helping my clients with, and then you say, get out of unproductive habits, triple their productivity, delegate, but whatever it is, but the person, if it's the right fit, right away they see that, oh crap, this is just what I need, so they keep on reading.
Yeah, for
So
example,
so
I
just
tell
to,
my, yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, sorry.
Just to answer that question a little bit, like which funnel is the most effective, I would say that regardless of which funnel you choose, you can always go back to the messaging funnel um, as a not last resort, but that's where it should lead. So whether you are in the groups and you're in a group discussion with somebody, it's your ideal client, send them a message. If somebody visits your profile and you see that they are your ideal client, send them a message. You know, hey, Jimmy, could you please tell me why did you land on my page and what did you like, so, or something like that. So, and I know one of the questions was also, do you have any suggestions how to capitalize on profile views?
Well, depending on what capitalize means, you know.
Like how do you like, you know, LinkedIn is sending you this message that 17 people watched your profile, you know, like, do you do anything with that?
Yeah, I mean, you can go on and say, hey, this person, like, you know, connect with them and send them a personalized connection request, you know, and say in the personalized connection request, you can say something like, hey, this person, I saw that you were checking out my profile. I'd love to connect and learn more about your biz. That's it. Keep it short and sweet. Maybe you should tell people how you got through the messaging funnel. You said that you made a couple of really big deals about using messages. How did you go about it? Maybe it will be easy for them to understand, for example, the messaging funnel of what kind of messages did you send out and how did you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, for me it was really easy because I knew exactly who my target market was. So I did a search for HR managers, and then I just sent them a brief intro, and I said I would love to learn a little more about their company, and I told them that I specialize on the DISC behavioral model, and they can download my e-course, they can get a free copy of my book, and that was it. So I just started a conversation.
Yeah,
But I always focused it on them. Like, I would love to learn more about their company and see if we can do something in the future. And what I did, I use a auto paster um, uh, program called Short Keys. So I had 3 different kind of messages. So to each person that I sent out, I always sent out a different message, and then I was monitoring which one was giving me best results. And after a while, I just tweaked that one message, and that's crucial. But that's we'll spend probably another whole training on split testing your messages. Mirna, so I have some great questions here. Bertha is asking if weight loss coaching is a good, you know, like LinkedIn, is it a good platform to promote your weight loss coaching? And I have a bunch of other good questions, but I know that you don't have the time. So can you give them your web address, email address, whatever, so people can contact you, and maybe you can answer some questions in person if you would be so nice.
Yeah, absolutely. They can contact me at mirna@mirnabacun.com. I can write it here somewhere. And
Type it in. I'll type it in.
I'm going to type it in. .com. I'd love to, we can maybe take 1 or 2 more questions. They can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Mirna Bacun. So feel free to send me any kind of like questions that you have to Mirna Bacun, monkeymirnabacun.com. We can actually get maybe 1 or 2 questions. I kind of wouldn't. It kind of sucks for me to leave people high and dry. I'm gonna take 5 more minutes, and then I have to really catch the bus. But I'm really happy.
Can't you call the bus company? Let them wait for you.
Unfortunately, they're not gonna wait for me.
The good news is I will have Mirna back, and we'll also have like a big webinar, I believe, in July. But I will have Mirna back a couple of times more this year, so you can ask more questions. Somebody is asking, do you have like a video course or something where they can learn step by step how to do this? She's asking specifically about the where is that message, to generate client leads with groups. So do you have some step-by-step instructions about that?
Yeah, I have actually 2 courses. I mean, you can basically see you can see that on my website. You can go on mirnabacun.com. I have 2 courses. One is the whole lead generation formula, basically, that where I go absolutely step by step how I made $50,000, and the group is also connected, and basically I talk about how to create groups there, and I basically take you step by step of what you need to do, like how to optimize your profile, and then how to connect with people, and then how to build your group, because you need to make it, you can't jump steps, otherwise it won't work. So I have that course, and I have a new course that I just pre-launched to my small list, part of my list. That's actually the LinkedIn profile funnel, where I also explain how to turn your LinkedIn profile into an automated lead generation funnel. If anybody wants a bit more information about that, they can contact me on my email, and I'll be glad to kind of give them the more information about that as well. But I'd love to answer any other questions that they might have. So everything is either on my website, or they can contact me directly. I'll be happy to answer on my email.
Sounds good. And if you can't find, if you lose Mirna's email address or anything, you could just contact me and I can hook you up with her.
Yeah.
So somebody's asking, Arun is asking, can you show us some examples of LinkedIn profiles that you liked? And if you want to search for or show us one, or maybe show us yours, I will ask you the other question.
Okay.
A great question. Like in the past, it was so much easier to connect with people on LinkedIn, but now if you want to connect, they ask for an email address. Like in the past, if somebody was a group member, I could just contact them and invite them to connect, and now we don't have that option. So is it worth to upgrade to the paid LinkedIn, or how do you go around it?
Depending on what you want to do. If you want, I don't think that having a premium is a bad investment at all, depending on how much time you want to spend on LinkedIn, how much lead generation do you want to do. I think that, for example, upgrading to premium is awesome. I did all of these 50K without even paying for LinkedIn. Like I didn't have a premium account at all, so it's doable without paying. But if you want better filters, more options, why not pay? It's like $60 per month, and it's really worth it. I mean, if you have only one client, and for example, if you have an online course, or you do consulting, and if your rate is like $1,000 per month, you only need one client to basically get the return on investment, whatever it is that you like, either if you invest in LinkedIn coaching, or if you invest in premium or whatever. So it's really worth it. Really quickly, I can go over really quickly what's important for the profile. Really, this is going to be like a 2-minute crash course about what's important. And then you had another question. Oh yeah, about the connecting people. It really depends on people's settings. Do they want to get contacted or not? Some people don't understand the LinkedIn settings, basically in the depths of LinkedIn settings, so they don't even know that they have restricted themselves of being contacted by other people. The other thing that happens when they ask for somebody's email address means that you already asked this person to connect. So there are either two options. One is that you already asked the person to connect, and the person either ignored you or didn't connect. So you're kind of saying, again, I want to connect with this person, but LinkedIn says, no, you have to have their email address. The other option is that the person put in their settings without knowing or by purpose. Somebody needs to basically put in my email. This person needs to know me in order to connect with me. These people don't use LinkedIn for lead generation, unfortunately. If you want to do business, basically, you need to enable everyone to kind of get in on your radar and to be able to connect with you. I talk about that more in my courses, but yeah, these are the two, I think, options that usually why it happens, why they ask for your email address. Really quickly, I can go over my my profile. As I said, this will be a 2-minute course about a profile, so don't expect too much. I'm just going to go really over what's important. The most important thing is that the profile strength is to all-star. What does this mean? It actually means that your whole LinkedIn profile is filled out. And what this actually enables you is when somebody searches here, for example, for LinkedIn marketing expert, if LinkedIn is going to search and find in the search all the people first that have all-star status, then that they have an expert status or whatever. So be sure that this part, that you fill out everything. What everything means is that you need to have this profile picture here, edit the background picture. I'm starting to blabber. Sorry. This picture needs to, I always say to my clients, make it interesting for your target market. Like they need to know, like here I have, for example, LinkedIn profile funnel, and they're like, oh, what's that? That's interesting. Like I wanna see what's that. First, last name. Here, really important stuff, guys. You need to have what we call an elevator pitch, and basically you need to explain in one sentence, very easy, what it is that you do. So when people like, for example, I help biz owners generate free, high-quality leads with LinkedIn on autopilot. I'm telling who am I working, what they can expect, what they're gonna get. It's very clear to them what it is that I do. I think that this is one of the most important parts of your LinkedIn profile. Your picture as well. You need to look at the camera, have a nice picture, don't have a monkey on your shoulder. People react really well when you look at the camera because they have a feeling they can connect with you. This part here, right, this picture, this elevator pitch, the headline, and this, your first, last name and the headline goes anywhere where you go on LinkedIn, this goes with you. Whether you're commenting, whether you're putting updates, statuses, or blog posts, these three things go and make it count, okay? Then, posts, it's important, this part you can't move around. You know, write about what's important for your target market. This is how your target market is going to see that you are talking about what's interesting for them. Here you basically have an option to have a couple of lead magnets. You can use that if you use the projects. It doesn't matter. In summary, for example.
I loved it, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people actually don't know this. This is like huge. It's like a lot of this stuff are not, you can't click on summary, so people leave their email addresses and things like that in the summary. Nobody's going to copy and paste anything. They might want to, and I'm going to actually switch my profile view to, oh, sorry, I'm trying to do everything really quickly. I'm gonna, you can see here, you can how my connections see my profile. So here you can click on something and go, for example, a case study, or they can download something for free. A lot of people.
See, again, I'm learning something really cool, yeah. And I have projects on my page, but it's at the bottom of my page, and I will put it up after this call.
Absolutely. So make it, as I said, make it easy for us. So I want my client to be able to download stuff from me. For like, my goal on LinkedIn is to get people, not as much to contact me over LinkedIn messages, but to get in my email list, because I provide a lot of value on my, I just give shit tons of value on my email list when I get people in. And that's my kind of goal. So you have the projects here. In the summary, you can either put bullet points. I don't like bullet points. I love telling a story and connecting with people, and I always tell my clients, write a story as if, you know, you're telling a story to your best friend about who you are and what you're doing. It makes you, you know, there's so many things that are robotic today. Like, we get robotic emails, we get robotic bullet points, we get robotics, everything's robotic, and I want to communicate to my clients like a normal person, like I would talk, like I'm talking right now. And that's how I put my summary, and I position my summary this way. If you have a market where you can really do hard pitches, then you might want to put in bullet points. Again, this completely it depends on what you want, what is your end goal, and how your target market reacts. Just one really cool thing to know is that I change and tweak my profile basically like every week, because I'm trying to figure out what works best. In experience, I think that the most important thing is, like, people don't care about what you did. They want to know what's in it for them from, you know, the positions that you had. So for example, like I always tell my clients, go and write down in the experience part, yes, it's a certain position, but what did you do on that position that is going to help your client, your target market today? So for example, if you were a coach of a baseball team, maybe you learned about how important communicating to your team is, about how communication within a team is important. And wow, look at today, you have an online course about communication, team communication. Does that make sense? Nobody cares that you've done baseball. People care about, like, okay, so how does this position help you to claim and kind of be the expert that you are now, okay? All of these other things, like for example, skills, be sure to have some skills that the people that kind of just goes and communicates like what it is that you were saying up there that you can do. For example, you'll have entrepreneurship and marketing strategy and software development and video production that I did as well, and business coaching. Courses, okay, it's fine. Education, it's fine. Additional info, you can just give people a bit about, you know, who you are and what you do. These things are not that important. If people either come to this part, like, I don't think that they're going to scroll down as much. So I would say that up to the skills, it's where they're going to stop, maybe. They might want to check you out, but definitely the most important stuff is the experience, the summary, and of course this part here. And that's it for me. I have to leave now.
Run, Mirna, run. I hope you catch the bus. If not, I'll feel very guilty. So yeah, thank you so much, and we'll have you back, and then we'll drill you some more. But yeah, go to Mirna's LinkedIn profile, and then you can see what else she has to offer, and you can connect with her there. Practice your connecting skills.
Absolutely, and if you have any questions, please feel free to just message me. I will answer any emails that I get, so don't worry about it. And thank you for having me. It was like I really enjoyed it.
Me too. Thank you very much for accepting my invite, and I'm looking forward to having you again. And go run.
Thank you. Right. Yeah, bye guys.
Bye. All right, guys, I will stay with you for a while, and I will answer some of the questions. And okay, let me change presenter to myself. Okay, show my screen. Okay, now you see my beautiful screen. Let's see, I have Mirna here somewhere. I was checking to see if I have all-star status on my LinkedIn profile. And so yeah, so Mirna doesn't like bullet points, and that's cool. And she has her projects on the top. So because of that, she already engages the potential, the ideal client right away with her offer. So that's brilliant. I will definitely do the same. And where are my bullet points? I don't have bullet points either. We view profile as, let's see here. Oops. Let me view it as a stranger. Create profile as to be view recent. View profile as, oh, here it is. Summary. Oh, there you are. So this is how people see it. So I have some bullet points in that. So the goal is that whoever comes to your profile right away, they know that you are the right fit, and the articles will tell them. So the titles of your articles already will tell them that, oh, I need to pay attention here. And then as they read, anything they read should force them to keep on reading. And actually my first one is getting access to my 6-part training video series on how to grow your coaching business. And so if a coach comes here, and this is just a recent thing that I added here, if a coach comes here, then for them, you know, this is right away, it captures their attention, but it's not clickable. So with the projects, it's actually clickable, and they can get to a page, so that's really cool. And all right, so let me go back to her page, and I will answer some of the questions. Isn't she an amazing young lady? I mean, wow. And the cool thing about her is that she's really good at what she's doing, but she's not crazy guru-like status where she's unapproachable. She's really approachable. She answers emails. She's really sweet. And so I totally love her. I hope that I will have her on these calls for years to come. Each time I talk to her, you see, again, I learned something. I will tweak my LinkedIn profile again. All right, so if you guys have some urgent questions, you can raise your hand. Meanwhile, I will answer some of the questions that you guys asked, because I do have some good answers for you. And if you have to leave, you can leave. This is recorded, so I hope there will be no technical difficulties. You can listen to the recording. Post your questions in the questions box, and then if you have to leave, you can listen to the answer later. But so I will go now down the list, and I will answer those questions. By the way, Mirna said that people don't spend lots of time on LinkedIn. They just come in there for very specific things and then they leave, which is true. But some people do spend their almost like their life on LinkedIn. And if you are in some of the LinkedIn groups, especially if you are one of those people who are a lot of those LinkedIn groups, then you know that there are people who are there constantly, anytime you go there, they either have a post or they are answering questions. It's crazy. They spend their life there, and I know that they can't possibly have, they don't work. They don't have clients. And I'm talking about coaches, because if you're selling a tangible product, then of course you can spend your whole day on LinkedIn. And if you're generating leads and people are buying your stuff, let's say an online course, or you're selling an app or anything that people can buy online, then you are fine. You can spend your whole day on LinkedIn and generate those leads. But as a coach, when I see somebody there 24/7, and the way I see them is when I go into my group, I see that they answer tons of questions and they start discussions and they are active in those discussions. So yeah, some people spend their life there. Now, this is what I see, and this is if ADD took you away, or if you're checking your emails, pay attention now, because this is a writer downer. I know who is generating leads in the LinkedIn groups. It is the people who are heavily engaged, and then they invite those people to check out their course, like or a video, a training video, or whatever it is, download, tip sheet, whatever it might be their offer. But they talk to people and they invite them to come to their website and take action on their website for something, and then they disappear. I don't see them for weeks, and it is because they generate clients, and now they are coaching, and they just come back now and then for a few hours again to generate more leads. So keep that in mind, that you, and I know I have people in my group who spend their lives there, and for months they just keep posting and posting and posting. And one of them does say sign up for my newsletter, but the newsletter is it just says newsletter. so he's not targeted in his efforts, so he's really wasting lots of time. He's building relationships, he's well known, so he can later capitalize on that, but he's been in there for about a year and literally spends his life in there. Okay, enough said about that. Everything shows that you are the best match. Oh yeah, so on your profile, Mirna was talking about this, but I love it how she puts it about your past experience, and I did not optimize it that way. But when somebody looks at the past experience bullet points or description of what you did, you should create it in a way that any past experience you had, you did tasks that would be relevant to your current ideal client. So whatever they read on your whole profile, they should be like, wow, so she has experience with that, that I need that, right? So everything that you put in there, make sure that they see it as relevant to them. So and there you were, Irene, your beautiful face. Thank you for that testimonial. All right, let me go to next one. Any tips on what's the best way to generate leads as a group member? Yeah, as a group member, start discussions. Very important. Start discussions. Just questions, and don't be afraid to. That's the thing that I see more often, is that people are afraid to ask basic questions. Don't be afraid to ask basic questions in the groups. The groups are there for you, to support you, but that way you get exposure to everybody. Now, if you ask basic questions, so that's not a way to generate leads. That's a way to build relationships, maybe. So, number one to remember, write this down. To generate leads with groups, join the groups where your ideal clients hang out. The biggest mistake I see is that people join groups where people just like them hang out. So if you're a life coach or a coach or a consultant, if you join a group of consultants or a group of coaches, it will be kind of hard to get a client in there. But if you are presenting workshops to corporate clients, then get into those corporate groups where those corporate clients are aggregating. And in the past, I was a member of many leadership groups, management groups, human resources groups. Some of them have hundreds of thousands of members. I used to have a radio show called Leadership Matters. And in one of the groups, I believe it was the Leadership Think Tank, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that group had at that time about 200,000 members, and he allowed me to post. Actually, he was promoting me. We co-created that radio show, so that was really cool. And so be visible in the groups where your ideal client hangs out. Post posts. For example, if I'm in the HR group, I would post articles about how to delegate more effectively, how to create more effective teams, how to improve your team's performance, and of course most of my articles would be like 7 steps to, or 7 ways to, or 9 ways, or 10 ways, or 5 ways, or 3. So it doesn't matter, but there was always a number, so people right away think, oh, let me see, what are those 3 steps or 3 strategies or whatever. So once you're visible there and people are commenting to your posts, then you can send a message to them and say, hey Jim, I see you have that problem with your team. I would love to sit down with you for a 30 to 45 minute session. No risk, no pressure. I will not try to sell you anything, but just let's explore, see if I can help you, and I promise you that you walk away with lots of value from our conversation. So I would send out the message like that. And again, I had about at least 3 forms of those messages, and I was sending them out. I would alternate how I send it out, and I always, even with those 3 kind of templates, I would customize them based on what we talk about in the discussion. Also contribute, and this is a powerful one. So again, this is a writer down, or make sure you write this down. Notice the discussions, again, in the groups where your ideal client hangs out. Notice the discussions that have the most comments. Because let's say if there are 200 comments to a discussion and you put your comment, guess what? LinkedIn is sending out an email to all 200 people saying that, hey, Janine posted an answer to that question. And of course, they will see an expert of your answer. And so all of those people get exposed to you. Now you can, if you actively contributing to these active discussions, you can go up on that list of 200 people. Well, if it's 200 posts, probably some of them posted a couple of times. But you can go up on that list of people who commented on that discussion and contact each and say, hey, Jennifer, I really loved your input in that discussion about the human resources challenges with intergenerational teams or whatever. And I from your comments, I see that you have this challenge, and I specialize in this, and I would love to sit down with you for 30 minutes and see how. Or you can say, I have an article on this, check it out here, and you put the link there. And I used to invite them right away for a free session, and in the beginning, and then I shifted to sending them to video, sending them to an article, and then later inviting them for a session. So yeah, so groups are very, very powerful. So you know, and anything you do, always focus on being visible in the groups where your ideal clients hang out, and then connect with them and communicate with them, send them a message. All right. Any tips on what's the best way to generate leads as a group member? So I just answered it. Let me. Okay. And then. All right. I got so much to tell you. I need help with my next steps. Okay, Taki, we will talk later. Send me an email. Is going to cut off. She was amazing. Okay, can you suggest some examples? Okay, cool. Which funnel did you find most effective? We answered that, all of them. So which funnel is most effective? Just do all of them. Post articles, be present in groups, contact the people who view your profile, and it's simple. It's just a simple short message, and I suggest investing in short keys. I'll put it here for you guys, www.shortkeys.com. It is 20 bucks, and you just shake out from your finger all of these messages. So for example, if somebody views your profile, you can just hit 2 keys, and then it pastes there. For example, you can set it up as / profile. So you type in one word, or you can just type in PROF, right? And then it types in there up the message for you. It will say, hey, thank you for visiting my profile. I'm just curious what made you visit my profile, and I would love to learn more about what you do, whatever. So you make up a message and then just send it to those who visit your profile. But it always comes down at the end to sending out a message. Okay, and then how do you capitalize a profile views? Yes. Any tips on how to get more views for my LI articles? See, this was a good question to ask her. But I learned from Mirna, actually, that there is a calendar, a LinkedIn editorial calendar. Isn't that cool? I never knew that. Shame on me. LinkedIn, you can just do a search for it, LinkedIn editorial calendar. So if you write an article, so it is LinkedIn 2016 editorial calendar for blogging content. So if you write content that's in line with what LinkedIn is looking for, then you will get way more views for your articles. So that was a powerful tip that I learned also from Mirna. Do you suggest upgrading to paid LinkedIn profile? Why? So she spoke about that a little bit. She said, do it, because if you get even one client, then it already pays for it. Now, I will say that until you are not ready, do not upgrade. I mean, yeah, if your budget allows it, do so. And if you will capitalize on it, so if you will be actively engaged in LinkedIn strategies. But if you're still at the building stage, it depends. Again, it depends on what stage your business is. If you're at the building stage, then wait until you are ready to capitalize on LinkedIn. So meaning that your profile should be optimized, quote unquote optimized, that it talks to your ideal client, know who your ideal client is, so you can optimize your page, and then make sure that you have calls to action. Make sure that you have your goal and your end goal in mind, and then optimize your page accordingly. Okay, any quick tips on what to consider if I want to start a group? Oh yeah, and somebody, at least 3 people asked about that. Okay, so I have 5 groups at least, and I closed a couple of groups. So currently I have 5 groups. One of them has almost 60,000 members. One of them has close to 10,000 members. 2 have about 2,000 or 1,000 few members, and I have at least 1 or 2 that have 7 members, even though they were all out for years. Write this down. This is the most important when it comes to creating a group. And yes, as Mirna said, having a group positions you right away as the expert, and it is probably the most powerful LinkedIn strategy when it's done correctly. The number one way that will get you members in the groups is the name of your group. Many groups have creative names. Some groups have way cooler organizers than I am. I am not a cool person. I know some people would disagree about it, but cool in the sense of professional accomplishments. I did not manage multi-million-dollar businesses and billions of. I did build a business that was making million plus, but there are people who own groups who manage multi-million-dollar businesses and billion-dollar businesses, and they've been on TV, and like they're really hot, but the name of their group sucks. So they have 2, 3,000, 6,000 members, you know. And by the way, I miss those times, because that's when we had the best discussions going on. And actually, I'm a member of some of these people's groups, and I love it. I'm jealous because they have some great discussions going on. Because my group is so big, it's way harder to manage it, and I have lots of spammers in there and all that, and it's way harder to manage. But anyway, it is the name. So number one is the name of your group. If the name talks to your ideal client, they will join. So like my group is the Coaches Support Group. So when a coach comes to looking for a LinkedIn group for coaches, of course they want to be supported, so they join mine. Mine is the second biggest coaching group, I believe, in the whole world. So the name, right? So get the name right. Make sure that it highlights a benefit to your client. So for Bertha was asking about weight loss. So your group would be weight loss support for the busy professional. How about that? Okay. I don't think that LinkedIn is the best platform for creating a group for weight loss, but you know what? It's free. It takes about 30 minutes to set it up, and I will give you feedback on it, and Mirna will give you feedback on it. So I strongly suggest to start that group. And I did not do any work to grow any of my groups. So the 60,000 people, that was all organic. I have not done advertising. I have not done webinars, promotions, anything. They just grew organically. So if your group name is such that your ideal client feels that that's where they belong, they will join, and it will grow like crazy without you having to do any work. And then you just post articles, you post videos, you answer questions. And in my group, that was the biggest thing that I got most compliments. People were asking questions, and I was giving answers. And guess what? I would take my answers, tweak them a little bit, and turn them into articles. Now, next time when that question would come up, which does come up every few months, the same question comes up, or sometimes every few weeks. Now I send people to the article. When they read the article on my website, then they have the option to sign up for my newsletter. So that's an organic way to grow your tribe. And because you are visible, and because people fall in love with your answers and your support, now you build trust. And when you invite them to a training, then they join you because they know you, they like you, and trust you. All right, so that's about groups. I'm a relationship dating coach that specializes in working with busy professionals. Do you think LinkedIn will work for us? Relationship dating coach, working with busy professionals. So anything with professionals is worth trying. There are I would join professional groups. And I think I just said something really silly, because on LinkedIn I think all of the groups are professional. So kind of narrow down your target market a little bit and join a couple of groups where that ideal client hangs out. So for example, if you think that the best target market would be attorneys, they have the money, they feel miserable and lonely, they work too much, they are under stress, then go in there and post some articles that talk straight to them. And some of the articles would be like how to find the love of your life even if you have a stressful and time-demanding job, right? So the attorney says like, oh crap, that's me. I have a stressful, time-demanding job and I feel miserable, I'm alone. So yeah, let me read that article. And then you invite them to sign up for your 7-part course or video course, or anything you might have there in your on your website. But yeah, I think it's worth trying. I mean, as far as building group, it's worth trying to start a group, because in worst case you spend 20-30 minutes creating it and nothing happens. But if it does happen, then hey, now you are the the authority. You are viewed as the authority on that topic. And yes, as a relationship coach who specializes on busy professionals, LinkedIn is a perfect place. Um, yeah, I mean, I could talk about that a lot because I used to be a relationship coach, and that's how I grew actually to get multi-thousand-dollar deals, uh, even to corporate clients. I just teach communication and relationship stuff. I don't I don't teach. Well, I do teach productivity, but I teach it based on the DISC behavioral model, understanding your personality style, your strengths, your weaknesses, and then um, building on that and communicating better with other team members, and that's how productivity will grow. But yeah, so your specialty is my ex specialty, so of course I love it, and I could talk a lot about that. Um, okay, any quick tips? Okay, do you have some sample message templates? Well, I will ask Mirna. So somebody says, Vic says, do you have some sample message template letters for lead generation with messages? Yes, I will ask Mirna about that, and I do have a few, and again, they are like really short, and you can easily make them up, um, and actually each time I paste them in there because again I'm using short keys, I tweak them a little bit sometimes, and then sometimes I just put the tweaked one in short keys and see what kind of results I'm getting. And by the way, this is a secret strategy, so don't tell this to anybody. Well, okay, I will tell you two secret strategies. I used to hire a VA, and when my daughter is on vacation, then I would hire my daughter, $10 an hour. She would contact members of my target market group. She would message them, and she would alternate those three messages, but she just would send out hundreds a day. And so that was a very powerful lead generation strategy, and I was busy answering messages like crazy, and that generated lots of members in my Client Attraction Academy when we did that, and in lots of sign-ups for my HR related programs, and a couple of course speaking gigs when I was shooting for that. So it always depends what you're going for, but we be clear on what is the final outcome, and then create a sequence of actions or a funnel that leads the person down on that funnel. And it's all about value. This is not about deception or any people think funnels are about deceiving people and all. No. If your relationship is breaking up, if you're in love but your partner is slipping away from you, and if I contact you and I say that, hey, I saw you in the discussion, and I see that you have a challenge that you're working on, and lots of people gave you lots of good advice, but you also got lots of contradicting advice. I specialize on this. I would love to sit down with you for 30 minutes and explore some options for you, and I promise you that you will walk away with some value. And then we meet, and then I tell him how I can help him, and I say, listen, my fee is $750 a month. You get 100% money back guarantee if my coaching does not result in improving your relationship. At the end of the month, you say, hey, EG, I want a full refund. This didn't work for me. And so this person needs it, right? This person is in pain. This is a professional. He can afford me. He will hire me. Nobody ever asked for a refund. Nobody. I'm doing this for 13 years, almost 14 years now. Nobody ever asked for a refund, but I always gave a money back guarantee. For the first 7 years or so, I gave 90 days money back guarantee. Until I got a very difficult client, and then I got scared, like, oh my gosh, I worked for somebody for 90 days and they asked for a refund. I'm not doing 90 days anymore. So okay, so that's it. Let me see if any new ones came in. Okay, let me know if I missed anything. You can raise your hand, and or you can type it in. Let me see if we have any hands raised. All right. So that's it then. I'm so glad that you guys stuck it out and you didn't quit before, because I was late for what was that, like 7 or 8 minutes. That was crazy, and I tried to get on 10 minutes early so I can talk to Mirna, but yeah, so crazy. But I'm glad that you guys stuck it out. All right, so yeah, contact Mirna. She's very approachable, and also if you have any follow-up questions from what I said, then you can send me an email to info@getmoreclientspro.com, and I will type it in here, info@getmoreclientspro.com. Send to all. All right, so let me see if any hands are up. Yeah, there is one hand up. Arun, you are unmuted. You are muted on your end, so make sure you unmute yourself on your end. Hi, Arun.
Hi, Sebastian. This has been a very nice webinar. I have one question.
Go ahead.
That is, if I have to complete my LinkedIn profile, do you think that I have to make the website complete before doing this LinkedIn thing?
Are you asking if you need to finish your website before you implement the strategies?
Yes, a website and a couple of articles.
Yeah. So let me put you on mute for a second, and if you have any follow-up questions, then you can raise your hand. So I just had this conversation with another gentleman who has a very elaborate, wonderful program, and he is serving high-end clients. So he is charging, I don't know, like $5,000 a month per client for 4 coaching sessions. He is specializing on the wealthy, but he doesn't have a website, so I was blown away. Do you need a website? You can start without having the website. You can. What happens in this day and age is that people will do a search on your name, and if they don't find your website, then they are a little disappointed. Now, if you have articles up there, if you have SlideShare, PowerPoint art, so yeah, make sure that you put stuff with SlideShare. So let's see here. If I put my name in here, E.G. Sebastian, let's see what comes up. So if somebody does a search on me, they see egsebastian.com, my Facebook, my Client Attraction Academy, Google Plus. Crucial, have a Google Plus page and post there. Even if you just post other people's articles and videos, keep posting in there. Your success checklist, LinkedIn, Slack, okay. So usually the how do I minimize this? Usually my my SlideShare stuff will come up here too. So if you don't have too much, like I have lots of exposure online, but here it is on second page. You see slideshare.net. If you don't have so much stuff like me, if you only have a LinkedIn profile, Facebook, SlideShare will come up as the third result or second result, and all you have to do is just upload, short PowerPoint presentations, like 7 steps on how to whatever your niche is. So just make sure that you upload some stuff in there. So if you're not ready to create your website, make sure that you have articles, you have SlideShare, you have Google Plus presence, because Google Plus will come up on top. It was amazing that I did a search on the term life coach or life coaching, and my Google Plus post on life coaching came up as number 7 or something. And just because I posted there an article about it, and it wasn't my article. Let's see, Arun Chattopadhyaya, short name but to the point. So IIT, okay, so you have there one presence, and good-looking guy picture comes up. Hopefully that's you. Scholar, cool. LinkedIn, Facebook. Okay, so you already have some online presence. I would make sure that I have a professional online presence. So join professional directories. Again, articles like articlebase.com, easyinarticles.com, and those don't come up on the top of search engines anymore as before, but LinkedIn articles, crucial. So, all right, Arun, I will unmute you. You can ask your follow-up question. And you are muted on your end. Make sure you click only one time. So Arun, I cannot hear you, so make sure that you click one time on the green mic to unmute yourself. And if you cannot talk, you can type up your so Arun says that he prefers to post his original articles, and that's the best. Textiles. Oh yeah, right. We had that conversation. I learned from Arun a few things about how to pick my shirt, and I always have difficulty about picking shirts. Website under construction. That's cool. So yeah, until you don't have your website, that's fine. You know, just do what you learned here today, but with your website, make sure that the website is not just an online brochure. So will your website be on textile topic? I will do that search. Meanwhile, please answer that. So will you promote your coaching or your textile business? Oh, so you're on Numi. So you see, that's perfect, because if somebody types in your name and the word coach, because you're promoting yourself as a coach, they will do that. Then you come up on Numi, LinkedIn, ITT, Facebook. Okay. So Google Plus, here you are. So that's perfect. You have a Google Plus presence. So yeah, lots of stuff come up about you. Look at that, Easy in Articles. So everybody, see, don't discount Easy in Articles. He's on Easy in Articles, and it comes up on the first page. Books, super cool. All right. Let me see here. So coaching, okay. So make sure that on your website, as a coach, when somebody goes there, then you talk to, do you know who is your target market? Who's your ideal client? Who do you want to serve? What do you want to serve them? So make sure that when they come to your website, they right away see that. It shouldn't be Arun Chattopadhyay, life coach. I'm a certified ICF life coach. I have an Ikebana certification. You know, don't just list what you do, but right away when they come there, it should be something like, do you feel stressed, unproductive? Do you want to accomplish more in less time? Sign up for my 7-part course, or something like that. So whatever it is, it should mention who you serve, and it can be very specific, like, are you a professional who is successful in your job, in your profession, but unsuccessful in your private life? Would you like to create better relationships? Would you like to have more adventures? Sign up for my 10-part course and learn how to improve your confidence, how to grab life by the bull, how to attract the girl of your life. So anything that identifies your ideal client and how you can help them. So make sure that that's on there, and keep it short. So here I went on a little bit to extremes. So that's very common, Arun, that people don't know who their ideal client is, and that's the biggest struggle of newer coaches. And I know that you signed up for my 6-part course, and I put it here in case anybody's here who didn't sign up. But if you go to the sixfigureincome.coach.com, which I pasted in here now, then there are some detailed videos with step-by-step instructions on how to identify your ideal clients. But even with those instructions, it can be hard. It can be hard because people are afraid that they are missing out on everybody else if they narrow it down. But if you don't narrow it down, you're not getting anybody. So keep
Yeah,
that in mind.
Sebastian,
Yes,
Sebastian, hello.
I can hear you now.
You can hear me? See that I have given my target group already. I have selected the target group and I have put it in the message box.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
Can you have a look?
My targets are mid-career people who want to change or improve their career. Okay. Cool. Career and executive coach. So, career. Just remind me, what is a mid-career?
Mid-career is that that people who are already experienced and they are into say profession and in the middle management level, and their age group is something like 30 plus to 50.
Okay, and these people are employed.
They normally they are mostly they are employed or might have been laid off, but mostly they are employed.
Okay.
And they are having a crisis.
Okay.
That where to go.
Okay, so career coaching is challenging for many people because they try to coach people who are in between jobs, and when somebody is between jobs, they are stressed, they have financial problems, so they will not hire a coach. Some will, but most will not. And there are thousands and thousands of career coaches out there, and most of them they struggle because they focus on the wrong target market. But if you're focusing on those who are employed, but are miserable, that's an excellent niche. And there are lots of people who are attorneys, who are accountants, who are perhaps even managers, who hate their jobs passionately, and they can afford you. So that's a perfect one, and LinkedIn is a perfect platform for you to approach them. So yes, and of course executive coaching is very hot.
You know what? I want your opinion. That is, can I refine this niche a bit more by making it for the marketing professionals? Because I had been throughout in the marketing, and the advantage of marketing is that it is actually the marketing covers everything in a business. From the supply chain to finance to planning to coaching people, then to interrelation with the interactions with the clients, customers, suppliers, everything are enveloped under marketing. I had been into marketing for 35 years.
Perfect.
So, what do you think? Will it be a wise thing to slice this niche further for the marketing professionals in their mid-career, or any professionals in the mid-career? Which one you think? It should not be too narrow so that I don't get clients.
Yes.
That is my concern.
Okay. Most people will not hire you just because they get to your website. So some people will do a search for career coach. Maybe they come to your website. It doesn't matter what your website says. They will not click on buy now and pay you $1,500. No. So it doesn't really matter. Well, I will rephrase that in a second. It doesn't really matter whether you make it really narrow or not for that purpose. I always say split test it. So test it. And you can have different pages, and this is crucial. So again, if you dozed away or you checking your emails or anything, write this down. Create different pages for different approaches.
Okay.
So if you're thinking that, maybe should I do it this way or should I do it that way? No, you should do it both ways. Because what happens is when you send out a newsletter, when you put an article up, in the byline of the article, you will put a link to one of those pages. When you post another article, you will put the link to the other page. When you do a webinar, you send people to one page. When you do a boosted Facebook ad, you send them to one page, and the other ad, so you will run two ads, you send them to the other page, and you see which one gets you results. And you have to test it for 90 days or something, see which one gets you better results. But never test more than 2 or 3 pages at a time. So the money is, and the client attraction power is in campaigns. So you develop the funnel, you develop the step by step. How do I get in front of the client? How do I get the client to get into my world? How do I get the client to, or the potential client, to take action? How do I get the client to fall in love with my offer? And then how do I get the client to click on apply for coaching, right? And then to pay for my coaching, hire me. And when you do this for thousands of people or hundreds of people every month, then you will be a busy coach. You will always have clients. If you just focus on, like networking in your community, or you just one-on-one contact through LinkedIn groups or whatever, you will get clients once in a while. You will. But if you spread your net higher, larger, if you make your funnel more automated, and this is the key, automated. Like when they come to your website, have them opt in, give them their email address and their name, and then you can stay in touch. And every month now you can market to hundreds and later to thousands of people. And out of those thousands of people, there will always be a few who will be ready, because they read your newsletter, they saw your videos, they saw your PowerPoints on SlideShare, and when they are ready, when they say, okay, I had it, I will not put up with this job anymore, then they contact you and hire you. But the key is developing those relationships and having lots of people to develop that relationship with. Now, what you can also do, you see, on my website I have here an example, and this is just I started doing something. And so what you can do is you can have these buttons, and I cannot hover on them, because if I hover on them, the page will take me automatically there. But you can say, for executive coaching, click here, and under it, on smaller font, I would say, improve your performance as an executive, or whatever you want to put in there, but put there the words exactly that your ideal client is seeking. So if an executives come to your page and they see that button, then they say, oh, let me, or you can put under it, say, find out how to improve your team's performance in 7 steps. Click here, right? And then on the right side, you can have another button that says, are you fed up with your career? Click here to find out how to transition into the career of your dreams. You can have 2 or 3 such buttons on your home page, and you don't have to have, like, you see, I don't have an opt-in offer anymore on my page. I just have value, and then people can go there, and then we can take it from there to the next step.
Yeah, that is very intelligent, very smart. All will be actually, they will be directed to the separate pages with the separate ideas, and you can split test faster than making a opt-in page and then sending newsletters.
Yes. All right, Bertha, you're welcome. And let's see, and Arun, I can answer you some more questions for like a minute. Oh, we've been here for almost 2 hours. Let's see here. Okay, cool. All right, guys, this was great. So Arun, if you have a quick last questions, go ahead. If not, then we'll wrap it up.
No, nothing as such, because I am already in touch via email, and thank you very much. It was invaluable.
Sounds good, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yes.
All right.
Sure, that, and have a nice day.
You too. All right, and yeah, Arun, I got your beautiful email that you sent me, and I will thank you for the detailed answer. And we started talking with Arun about shirts, and then I asked him to tell me more about what he does. So I will answer that email in a few days. And guys, thank you for hanging out with me this morning, and I hope that you found this useful. Well, what am I saying? I know you found this useful. So get out there and implement it, and if you get stuck anywhere, make sure you contact Mirna, or you contact me, between me and Mirna, I'm sure that we can help you implement all of this into your business. So, all right, wow, 2 hours. I think this is our record up till now. All right, guys, get out there, implement this stuff, and let's make the world a better place, one client at a time. E.G. Sebastian signing off.